yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, shit,
No one's getting
yeah.
it now. Take that, asshole.
It's just us. We're stuck in here. Trapped
Help.
with rats.
Since you like watching Trap Rats, click like and subscribe. But on a nicer note, what kind of collector are you? I don't know, that's a terrible segue. I just want to kind of get right into it.
I like it.
We were talking about collecting guitars, and we all do it. We all do it. Everyone that buys guitars is actually a collector of guitars. If you have more than one, or if you just have one.
I mean, that is the technical definition.
I collect, like the collector in the Avengers saga.
So every time my kids, we buy anything, can I start collecting these? It doesn't matter what it is. I'm like, nah,
no,
you're good.
I did see a kid with a Cabbage Patch Kid the other day, like an
yeah.
original one from the 80s at Merlefest. But anyway, it was all beat to half and vomit on it and dirt, and it was fine. And teriyaki
So
sauce.
it's supposed to be.
Yeah. But so there's all sorts of different ways to collect and to begin your collection and to start cultivating it. It just depends what kind of collector you actually are. What do you think there? Pretty neat, right?
This could be neat.
I think it's kind of neat. So there's multiple ones. Let's dig into a few. Are you a collector of, let's break it down to easy styles. Do you collect acoustic guitars or electric guitars? That's one type of thing. I tend to do both.
I was going to say, I think a lot of people fall into the both category, right?
Well, I have some guys that are pretty much exclusively acoustic.
But, well, here you go. Maybe this just occurred to me that I only have one acoustic, but I'm constantly fawning after new electrics. So maybe,
I do not think you're an acoustic collector at all.
I think I'm just I have a very utilitarian
I was going to say that.
acoustic, relationship.
Yeah, Johnny is an acoustic utilitarian collector, but this just means you just have one that you play for. You like the Borg of acoustic guitars.
The Borg. I often think that of myself.
But then let's break it down a little bit more than that. Are you a vintage collector or a new piece collector? That comes with both the pitfalls and the joys on either side. If you're a vintage collector, it is pretty amazing to hold a piece of history.
It is.
That has traveled and gone through time and has history to it. The flaws are it's vintage.
It might suck. It might be hard to play, right?
It might be very hard to play. It might be broken.
It might
Snap, crackle, and pop.
No one might care about it.
That is true
here.
And when you talk about vintage versus new collector, I'm sort of a hybrid of that.
Yeah.
Because I do love new guitars, and I also love a cool vintage guitar.
I do too. I mean, I think, and it's so like the vintage thing is so funny, right? Because you could collect vintage stuff because you think, hey, it's going to increase in value. It might totally be nostalgia, like the people who collect like the old Harmonies and Ks and stuff.
Yes.
Maybe they'll increase in value, but I mean, if you collect those,
they're driving up.
It's probably because you just think that's cool. You like the history of it. You like old things. Nothing wrong with that,
Now, another one that sort of fits in the new world is: are you a collector of the prestige brands? That's like the Fender and the Gibsons.
I thought we were talking Ibanez. I got 73 Ibanez Prestige.
Baby. That was pretty funny. That's all I do.
Steve, I looked at this one once.
Egnator amps only.
Yeah.
Which would be, or if you have like a wall of Mesa Boogies and that's your thing. Which there is. I had a guy that I knew that just collected Vox amps, and he had a house filled with Vox amps, and he lived in Jeffrey Dahmer's house where he grew up.
Whoa.
Yeah, and he collected amps, not corpses. But a beautiful house too. I think it's for sale right now in Ohio somewhere. It's a really pretty house. It's on the market.
There you go, by Jeffrey Dahmer's house.
I mean, it was really pretty. It's mid-century modern. And the guy who had it before had Vox amps everywhere. It was beautiful. He serves as sausage. Anyway, so the prestige, like if you're into like Fender Gibson, like there's guys that are just Gibson diehards that want to get like the Gibsons, or they want to get like from like those $60,000 Vs that just came out,
right?
To the more attainables versus the unobtainables, like collecting Les Pauls, or like you're a Les Paul studio guy.
I was gonna say, I wish I had like a barn full of Les Paul studios.
That would be.
I would just open the door and just show people, like they would all be wine red, that wine red color.
God,
from like the late 90s, early 2000s.
All identical.
They'd be all identical.
Just be like, why?
And I would have a thing where I walk through it and I'd tell random facts and stories about each one, as if they were not identical. It would be great.
This one it'd be called Bunnyfoot because of this, whatever. Bunnyfoot's a good name. If you haven't seen, there's a great Chicago Music Exchange ad right now for a Les Paul with a unicorn painted on it. I think they already sold the guitar. It's really funny though. Check it out on YouTube. It didn't have that many views when it first came out, but I think it's a great video. I thought it was
I've seen that one.
hilarious.
I gotta go watch it.
It's brand new.
Okay, cool.
It came out, I think, last week.
I was on an internet fast.
You were
forcibly.
I mean, it didn't get that. It was like 1,000 views on like the first couple days or something. I was like, oh, that's not that big a deal. But I think it was one of my favorite videos I've seen in a while.
Okay, check it out.
It's short. It's just it has a unicorn painted on the guitar, and the guitar player is awesome. But now what about value? Like some people invest actually as a commodity. That's what we all tell ourselves that we're doing, but we're really not. We're collecting because we like guitars. It's like people that like guns.
Yeah.
A lot of times, not just like, oh, I want to get my gun rights and stuff because I don't know anything about that. But most of the reason we collect guns or like we want our gun rights because we like guns.
Because they're fun.
They're fun. Like it's fun to shoot guns. Let's all admit that, right?
They make things blow up.
They make things go bang.
Bam.
It's really fun. It's really fun when you're away from here and you shoot something else and it falls over, like an inanimate object.
It is.
Anyway, but some people actually invest in guitars as their retirement account or as just an investment vehicle to make more money.
Puts the pressure on.
Does put the pressure. It's like those day traders that are like, I'm a day trader. Then all of a sudden it's like, I'm laying concrete. You don't lay concrete.
No, you don't. You pour concrete.
Yeah, I don't.
If you were laying giant slabs
I was going to say
concrete.
laying tile, and then my brain just switched gears.
Laying pipe.
It's so pedestrian yet so funny.
I couldn't leave it. I couldn't walk away. I tried.
Well, because I was actually watching, like, imagine you laying pipe, like copper pipe is really nice.
I know. It's
like I have to get my roof fixed, and I just laid down a big check for that. Ugh. Apparently that's expensive. Pipe layer. I don't want to talk about it. But no, so that's tricky because a lot of people are doing it in the vintage game. And like if you've watched any of our old videos, like Robbie Z, who had his large guitar collection stolen from him, check out those videos in our backlog of just taking Robbie's largest guitar collection stolen. It's in our backlog. He's been recovering them, but what a financial hit to that dude.
Man.
Because you have to store these commodities. It's not like a stock that's on the exchange, that's off in the ethosphere, that's faux, whatever it is. It's a physical, tangible asset that was unfortunately not insured either.
And if you didn't store them well, maybe you ruin them and you lose a lot of value, right?
Acoustics can do that. Gibsons like to have their headstocks just like shoot off sometimes. Pow!
I think it's charming. It's
So
part of the
like,
charm.
They're like Pez dispensers. It's like there's a Gibson Pez custom shop set that's out there.
It's not supposed to bend that way.
Someone brought us in a Taylor just the other day. I think the headstock's like
Snapped off,
the strings
yeah.
on.
It's
I'm
true.
like, oh,
That's
I think
true.
that was they actually dropped it or something.
Yeah.
I saw that at Merlefest.
It didn't just give up.
Headstock
Really?
gone. Yeah, it wasn't one of the Taylors, but I saw
sad.
the guitar. It was. What was it? It was a decent guitar. It wasn't a Seagull, but it was something in that world.
Right.
It was a Cort. It was
Cort.
a Cort guitar. It looked good. It was pretty good. And it actually it was a decent sounding guitar before the accident. So that is the type of investor out there. And I'm a hybrid of that, but not really because I'm never going to sell them.
Yeah, I don't think that never really enters my even the resale, because I always feel like if I'm thinking about selling a guitar while I'm buying it, that's a bad sign, right? I at least tell myself that it's the one and I'll have it forever every time.
You might be the boutique or small batch buyer. Like you might be into Echo Parks or Casadoses or John Cruises or like, the Novos might be your thing. You want all the Novos.
I know a lot of guys like that,
Or you might be like a Wayne Henderson guitar. You might try desperately to get your hands on one of those, which is nigh impossible.
Nigh impossible.
But I did get to play 3 of them over the course of Merlefest last week.
What I think is fun about this one in particular, right, is you hear all this buzz about all these things. I can see the fun in like trying them all and owning them all and like the different flavors, and it's like trading cards. You know what I mean? Like it's, ooh, I got a Wayne Henderson. Ooh, I got a Josh Williams. Ooh, I got a whoever. I do really want one of those kind of.
If you haven't heard of Wayne Henderson, check it out. We're going to do a whole video series on that.
Awesome.
I think down the road, I have a gentleman who might bring us some to play and demo, and we're going to talk about it. But they're spectacular.
Yeah.
It's Clapton's Guitar is a book that's out. You can check it out at your bookseller, Amazon, or your local shop would be preferable. Either way is fine, because we like Andy Jassy, who's in charge of Amazon now, because he likes one of our favorite cats too. So we have the same musical taste. It's weird. And the dude likes to have fun, so we're into that too. And he's a family man. It's cool.
Yes.
What do you know? What do you know about that hobnobbing with guys at Amazon? Weird, but sort of, like once. But no, check out. He built guitars for these guys, and for Clapton, and it's
Pretty amazing.
They're amazing. It's frustrating how good they are, and I played a lot of great guitars. Or maybe you're the collector that is a quantity / what Jonathan was talking about doing, a wall hanger guy that just wants to have your entire walls, your barn filled with Les Paul Studios. So you have to find an affordable brand unless you're the CEO of a major corporation.
Rolling in the money, making it rain.
Then you're like, I will take them all. I will be,
Joe Bonamassa.
Or Dweezil Zappa or something that's just got like stellar collections. Dweezil had that one guitar that was like, I was like a hybrid where it was like half of it was fretted, the other half was fretless.
Yeah.
And then Gabriel at Echo Park actually did that neck on that Gibson for them. I was like, that's awesome. But no, but it's the small. You want a lot of guitars to cover a lot of space. That's a different type of collecting.
It's true.
And it's like, and that brings joy in another way too. You'd have like 30 like Les Paul looking type guitars.
I mean, right. And I have known people who like don't really even play, who buy guitars like that. Really less expensive guitars, and it's just like in their brain, it's just hangable art.
Or it's like when you're in the beginning phases of your playing too,
Right.
you really can't tell the difference.
You don't know. Yeah.
Like you could play like
It's true.
a fantastic classic vibe Squire. You can play custom shop. You will not know one iota of difference. It wouldn't make any difference. I don't know. It's like fine food for like a child. In some ways, like my kid doesn't know that McDonald's isn't a 5-star restaurant. I put tablecloths on it when we take them there, and candelabras, and I have a fiddle player, not fiddle, violin player. I'm sorry, we're classy that way, because I'm
Fiddle player might be nice.
I was talking with Derek and stuff before we started shooting. I like to imagine myself as sort of lower upper class, but he's like, lower upper class doesn't sneak treats in the movies on half price night. I'm like, touche, touche, but I still do it. I can't help it. I need to stop doing that. It's just like from my childhood. I can't, right?
I know.
It's just weird to pay $5 for a Coke.
The old moving picture. We didn't have the old moving pictures when I was a kid, Baxter.
I know. Hey, that's new to you.
Actually, we had to come to Moore County to find one.
No, you still don't have the moving picture.
And we still don't have one.
You have to drive to Moore County.
Yeah. Darn it.
No, so let us know what kind of collector you are, because the joy of this is there's really no wrong type. It's fun. We're doing this. We're all just grown-ups now. It's like when you collected marbles as a kid, or you collected baseball cards, or you collected, it's just changed, or Pokemon cards, or video game consoles. Some people do that, or computers, cars, guitars,
All the stuff.
ex-marriages.
Yeah.
Whatever you collect, that's a more expensive one. I recommend guitars. But let us know your experience with this. If you've had fun, if it's been amazing, because it should be. If it's not fun, you're doing the wrong thing. I think it's fun.
It is fun.
Like I'm always sort of lusting after the next acquisition. What shall it be? I don't know. That's it. I'm going home.
There you go.
Thanks for watching.
I suppose.
Stay tuned. We have some exciting videos coming up.
Very exciting.
Click like, subscribe, the bell again.
Don't forget the bell.
The bell.
The bell is very important.
You gotta ring that bell. It's important.
It's all for naught without the bell.
It goes with the lane pipe goes.
It's true.